So it could be said that trees are in a constant state of meditation. And so what better plant to meditate with than a tree? So shamanic cultures have, they look at the plant people and the tree people, and they see trees as being linked to the earth and the heavens. They go deep into the ground and they reach up into the heavens. And it puts them into three realms of the lower world, the middle world, and the upper world. So what we're going to do is look at how to meditate with trees. Okay, so firstly, we want to find a tree. That's the first thing we want to do. So this is going to be personal to you. So finding a tree, we'll look at this a little bit later, but finding a tree, you want it to feel right. Yeah, so let's look at the physical things we look at first. So do you want to be somewhere where you're on a path and people are going to be walking past? You know, you may look a little bit strange meditating under a tree. It may disturb you. So do you want to find somewhere quieter? And so if you find somewhere quieter, this may be great, you know, but you may find that your view is blocked. It might not have a great view, and you might want a great view. You know, you might want to meditate with your eyes open, and for some parts, you want to be involved in the world around you as you're meditating. So finding somewhere quiet, out of the way a little bit is advised, but also somewhere where you feel comfortable. Yeah, so that's really important. Then look at what type of tree. So what type of tree would you want to meditate with? You might want to look up what the difference is and the meanings of different types of trees, and then choose your tree that way. Or it might be that you're just attracted to a certain tree, and that's absolutely fine. So next, we're going to look at comfort. So if you're going to be meditating for half an hour, 20 minutes, even 15 or 10 minutes, you want to be comfortable. You don't want your discomfort to distract you. So the more you get used to sitting, the more you're going to, and if you exercise along with sitting so that your body's ready to meditate, then that's great. But you might want to take along a chair. You might want to take along a blanket or even a cushion. You might want to be bare feet or wear shoes, depending where you are and depending if you want to be earthing at the same time as you're meditating with the tree. Look at the clothes you wear. Are you going to get bugs landing on you and that's going to distract you? Is it cold? You know, you want to be wearing the right kind of clothes. And then if there are bugs, this is something you want to be aware of. We're in nature. I would suggest get used to having insects and various different animals, leaves falling on you. Get used to that. Try and get rid of your stress reflex where there's a fear there of something touching you. Yeah, because we're in nature and we wanted to connect to it. So but what you can do is maybe use a bug repellent, but try and do a natural one like lavender oil, lemon and eucalyptus, cedar oil. All of these, you know, you can are quite natural, and then that will mean that your meditation will be more comfortable. Okay, so noise. Now, so you might want music. You might meditate better with music, and that's fine. You might want it natural, but be aware that you might have cars in the background. You might have people talking in the background, you know, depending on where you are. If you are going to listen to music, maybe try something natural like bird song, or maybe even a guided meditation. Yeah. But find something that suits you, something that calms you. You can change this as you go. Try different things. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so next, we want to have a protocol when dealing with trees and meditating with trees. And one of the first things I'd say to look at is a gift. So if you have, you're going to want to thank the tree for allowing you to sit with it. So water is perfect. You know, it's what the tree needs, and it's what we have in abundance. Well, mostly. Yeah. So some water, pour that around the roots of a tree. you know, and that can be your gift. As you do that, you can thank the tree. Thank it for letting you sit under its boughs and on top of its roots. You can ask it for permission first. So ask the tree for permission and see if you feel comfortable. You know, ask it if it minds you sitting there. You know, this is just showing respect to nature, and it builds a little routine that you can get into to get yourself into that meditative state. So one of the other things you can do is when you start meditating, because some people like to have imagery and things like that, you can ask the tree how you can help it. You know, is there anything you can do you can help, and see what images come up. So again, have a protocol that you can work with. You can have poems or rhymes that get you into the meditative state. You can do breathing exercises or an exercise before you start sitting with the tree. But again, as silly as it sounds, speak to the tree, because you're trying to connect with nature. So with all that, we're now sitting with the tree and we're going to meditate. So what kind of meditations do you want to do? So there are plenty. We have lots from older cultures in the West. Now, you could start with your breath again, you know, get yourself into a meditative state. You can breathe into the tree and move yourself into the tree and just be. You know, take in the air, take in everything around you. Let's get into that meditative state, link with nature, use your senses. Then you can start moving into the tree and moving maybe up and down from the roots up into the leaves, you know, moving through the sap, moving through the water in the tree. You know, try to become the tree and see again what images come up. You can ask the tree for advice. Again, see what images come up. These kind, you know, what we're looking at is trying to link with nature and just see how that affects us, how it makes us feel. I've found personally that sitting with the same tree for decades, that you do get an attachment to it. Now, whether that's my psychology or whether that's a true attachment to the tree and it has some sentience, I don't know. It depends on what you want to believe. But when you finish, thank the tree. Yeah, and that's it, as simple as that. Thank it. You know, treat the tree like a friend. And then it's always good to write down your meditations, because we forget them quickly. A bit like dreams, we can forget some of the details very, very quickly. So write it down or journal about what happened. And there we go. So that's a quick few ideas about meditating with trees and how we can begin this practice.